Word Derby. If you are a Gary, I need to talk to you this morning. Meanwhile, salad cream, trampolines in your garden, and being called Gary. Just some of the things on a Mumsnet forum discussion about things that make you common. Oh, now, you see, if ever there was a need for Garys across Derbyshire and Staffordshire to defend themselves, here is your moment. Come on. You're not common, are you? You can prove it. A user on Mumsnet asked the question, what makes a person common, in your opinion? Just interested. And they've had nearly 700 replies. Now, among the responses were camping chairs, Greg's sausage rolls, wearing PJs outside, which we've discussed many times on this show, having ketchup on a roast dinner, having a hot tub in your back garden. If any of these things apply to you, by the way, feel free to phone and defend yourself. Owning a caravan, watching ITV, and drinking cold drinks out of mugs. Right. If you can say yes to at least one of those things, the list is bigger than that, by the way. I want to hear from you this morning. Get in touch and defend your honour. Former royal butler and etiquette expert Grant Harrold joins me now. Grant, good morning.
Good morning, Mum.
Now then, I cannot believe for 1 second that you can tick any of the things on that list I've just reeled off.
Well, I think you and me have both got a problem here because I know you drive around in a car that's got giant eyelashes on it.
What?
And from my point of view, well, it's really tricky because sometimes when people come to my home, they take their shoes off, and I don't disencourage it, especially if I spent the last 2 hours going around vacuuming and cleaning floors.
Yeah.
And I've never really considered that. I mean, look, my upbringing, I'm from Airdrie, which is just outside Glasgow, and people have always kind of said to me over the years, oh, you're very common. But obviously I am now because I get people to take their shoes off.
You see, now I don't do that, Grant. You see, and I have friends who do that. We've had discussions about this. And and my thinking is, if you feel more comfortable taking your shoes off when you come into my home, do it.
Yeah.
But if you'd rather keep your shoes on, I have no problem.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm assuming you've been brought up well enough to be able to wipe your feet and have made sure you've not walked in any dog do. Otherwise, it's fine.
I'm very well house trained, just to reassure you. And yes, I mean, when anyone comes into my home, I don't say to them, take your shoes off. It's entirely, as you quite rightly said, it's up to somebody if they want to. If people come in and wear their shoes on, it's absolutely fine. And remember, if you are a bit kind of worried about somebody coming into your home with their shoes on and you let them, don't keep staring at their feet. I mean, we've been in that situation. We've gone somewhere to someone's home, someone's kept the shoes on, and the hostess keeps looking at their feet. Not very good for the confidence.
No.
But so it does happen. And then we've got tattoos. Well, and I'm sure you know that there's many different members of royal families across the world that have got tattoos, including the granddaughter of the Duke of Kent. So I think that then means that a member of the royal family is common.
Yeah, wow.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, producer Pete has got tattoos, so now he is totally common to me. That's it,
Absolutely.
Job done. You've mentioned about the shoes, but you've not said you make your guests remove their shoes. You've been clear. You've not actually pointed out on this list of which there's hot tub in the garden, having salad cream, watching ITV. If you're called Gary, well, we know that's not the case. Sausage rolls from Greg's. Surnames as first names. Oh, that fits with you, actually, doesn't it?
Well, see, surnames and first name, that's a very aristocratic thing, actually, as well.
Is it?
Where they'll call each other by surnames. So this is very confusing. I don't know who's put this list together. Hot tub in the garden.
Have you got one?
What's a hot tub? Oh,
give over.
Is that some sort of produce you have in the garden? Sounds lovely.
Sportswear worn as casual wear. Is that the one? Is it sportswear? You go out in a football top, don't you, Grant? I can just imagine it now.
Where's those smelling salts? I've left them sitting somewhere nearby.
There's got to be one on here. Right, I'm going to go with this one then. I think you like ketchup on a roast dinner.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. And even if I do have ketchup, if somebody asked for ketchup at the table, I would not sit there staring at them. I'd very politely get up and I would go and get the bottle, but then I'd decant it into a ramekin dish because you don't really want a sauce bottle. I mean, it's not one of those, what is it called? A greasy Jack's or greasy, what do you call it? Greasy Joe's. It's not a greasy Joe's. I mean, God, I haven't even crossed the threshold yet. But anyway,
wow.
So I think it's just, it's doing things in the right way. But look, I think when you talk about common, do you know that the Queen Mother, when she married into the royal family, she was classed as a commoner? Wow. They said that the Queen Mother was a commoner when she married into the royal family. So that just gives you an idea of how you can't really use the word common as a way to. I mean, it has been used as a way
Kate Middleton would be the same, wouldn't she?
Exactly.
And Meghan Markle.
Meghan,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So this is the thing that originally, I mean, hundreds of years ago, commoners were very much the poor class. And the reality of the world we are living today, that very much still exists. I mean, when I talk about the class system, and I know people have said, "Oh, it doesn't exist anymore." Well, it does exist. Whether we like it or not, there is without question, there is a kind of class system still there. And I think when people refer to, "Oh, that's common," thankfully, a lot of it is tongue in cheek today. People don't really turn around and say, "Oh, that person's common," because it's more of a humorous thing. But there possibly is still people out there that do see it as a class thing, where if you're wealthy, you've got the big home, you're aristocratic, and then if you haven't got a home, you're poor, you're common. But then what happens when the poor person wins the lottery and they become the aristocratic? So it goes round in circles today. So it's really difficult, but it's interesting because every day we look at that list trying to work out if they're common or not.
I'm still trying to work out which one you do off this list, Grant. Having loads of sugar in your tea?
I'm so perfect that oh damn, is that on that list?
It is actually, yeah. Have I got you?
Well, maybe that's maybe where I fail. Maybe I do like the sugar in the tea, so that's probably where I probably fail on that one.
We've got him. Finally, we got him.
And I also worry about the Gary. I've got a few friends called Gary, and actually I quite like this because I can now say to them they're common. I love this. This is great.
This seems really unfair to Garys, doesn't it, though, Grant? I mean, just because you've got the name Gary, why does that make you common?
I think the Garys around the country have got to stand up and say we are not common. They can't stand for this. It's crazy. I mean, next they'll be saying Grant.
Oh, funny enough, actually, I've just had an updated version of the list.
You get the same one as me. I think Sally's on there as well. Actually, you mentioned it.
Oh, anyway. Sally's definitely on there, Grant. That's a given. Grant, lovely to talk to you as ever. Thank you for joining us this morning. Former royal butler and etiquette expert, Grant Harrold. Right, so that list. I mean, salad cream is basically...